all of the doom and gloomers saying AI is killing the info business. Nobody will buy info products anymore. We're all doomed. You have to go start selling crypto or services now. It's the end of the info business is near. Info products are dead. It's all bull. It's just all crap. My name's Marlon Center's been in this full time since 1997. Sold over 70,000 products online. If you want to get my report on how I did it, you can go to resellertoolkit.com/70K. This is my book for you. 70 pages, how I sold 70,000 digital products online. Most of them were $60 to $2,500 or so. All right, with that said, let's go ahead and get back to it. Let's talk about why info products keep flourishing. Have you noticed that even with all the AI, as many info products are being sold as ever? Have you noticed all of a sudden, you don't see people dying right and left? In fact, if anything, people are doing more. And the reason they're doing more is because if they're stuck writing that email, they're stuck writing the foreword to that book or a chapter in the book or whatever, they can just use AI, right? So if anything, it's actually making the info business boom more. Now, with that said, there's three things I want to share with you because you have to differentiate your products and services because I think you're going to see a lot more info products. You're going to see a lot more. So you have to be able to differentiate or separate your products from other people's products, right? Well, how do you do that? There are three ways that I want to talk to you about right now today. Way number one, differentiate on an angle. Differentiate on an angle. The angle is what makes people pay attention. The angle is what separates you. The angle is like what makes it different. For example, way back when the internet, all of this was getting started, I came out with a product called the Amazing Formula. The Amazing Formula that sells products, services like crazy. Sells products like crazy, right? And nobody had come out with something like that. It really kind of caught attention, right? It was something that was a little bit different. I have one I came out with here, I think last year or early this year. It was called The Strange Ritual. It's about what I do every morning that makes me money, right? And I call it The Strange Ritual. And that was a bit of a unique angle. I had one, List Building Godsend. So you're just looking for something that differentiates, makes it a little bit different from what other people do. Step number two, or method number two, is to differentiate on an attribute. And the classic example of this was Stephen Pierce. A lot of you weren't around back then, but there was a gentleman, a speaker in our business who still speaks, I believe, and coaches, but his name was Stephen Pierce. Stephen Pierce came out with this ebook that was huge, and it was viral, and it was called The Whole Truth. And it was about the whole truth about the internet marketing business. People love that book, right? It is an extremely popular book. And it was differentiated on the attribute of truth because people felt like they weren't being told the truth. So he differentiated on that attribute, the whole truth. Now, you will see this. Domino's used to differentiate on the attribute of delivery speed. You know, your pizza delivered hot and fresh in 30 minutes or it's free, something like that, whatever it was. Federal Express differentiated on the attribute of speed when it positively absolutely has to be there overnight. I still think it was a big screw up to get rid of that USP, right? Because, yeah, I think I don't hear them advertising that anymore. I think for me personally, that's a big screw up because that was a very attractive USP. I personally think Domino's, like today, Domino's is just like, well, we got pizza and it's pretty good. I really still think it was a lot. Now, they ran into a problem because they got sued, I guess, because one of their drivers had an accident or something, right? They were trying to rush to get the pizza there in 30 minutes. But I'm pretty sure you could have dealt with that other ways than just getting rid of what we call the USP, unique selling proposition. So number one is differential angle. Number two, differential attribute. Number three is to differentiate on the person you're selling to, right? like there's a difference between generic time management than time management for self-employed people. If you're self-employed, then you may be like, okay, let me get the one for self-employed people. If you work from home, though, and it's time management for people who work from home, then you're like, well, I need to get the time management for specifically for people who work at home. And then, like, if you're in telesales at home, time management for people who do telesales at home, you're like, holy crap, that's the one that I need to buy, right? And the more specialized it is, typically the more money you have to pay for it, right? So these are three ways that you can differentiate and stand out in this, in what I believe is a coming boom. People are talking about the demise of the digital products business. I think the exact opposite. I think we're going into a golden age of it. We've been in a golden age of it. It's going to get even more golden. We're going to see even more info products produced, digital products, because the barriers have been removed because of AI. So you got to be better at differentiating yourself, setting yourself apart, giving people a reason to buy from you instead of someone else. Right? And so, like, I'll show you an example of how I'm doing this. Let me see if I can bring it up right now. See if I can remember the URL. It's, let's see here. Let's see if I can bring up my monitor. Resellertoolkit.com social secrets. All right. We'll see if the page loads. All right, so here it is. And now this is a differentiated on an angle. Unleash the power of social viral video marketing. Crash course in getting leads and list building. In 3 hours, I'll transfer to you all the most, so this is a big promise. 3 hours, I'll transfer to you all the most important secrets, chicks, methods, crazy good resources, da. I should probably have made that the headline. It's a lot better headline than this, quite honestly. But here's what makes it unique. I've got 14 bonuses currently, and I may even add more today. We'll see how ambitious I am today, right? But that really, you're looking at this and you're like, wow, this is really good. I think it is. It's great. I'm doing a live on Friday. We're doing a live video and it'll be recorded and so forth, right? But you get all of these extra bonuses. That's just another additional way to separate myself, to make myself stand apart, to be a little bit different. So what about you? How do you differentiate yourself, right? Is there some kind of unique angle that you can think of? Is there an attribute like the fastest, the easiest, the simplest? I mean, there's a million attributes, right? I sit here and you can go to Google and type in list of attributes and get a million attributes of stuff, right? The most comprehensive. You could go on and on and on and on and on. One of mine is that I dig deeper than all the other marketers, which I believe is absolutely freaking true, right? So that's an attribute, differentiation, right? Okay, let me know your thoughts, and let me go ahead and see if who we got on live. Now, this isn't my normal time to be doing my live stream, so I don't know if we have people on live or not. Okay, someone gave me a shout out. It said, good morning, Marlon. That was Jim F. Good morning. Offering computer program to go along with the product to help them implement. Yeah, sure, that's a differentiation, right? So good morning to you all. How are you? If you watch this live, you type live. You watch the bidder in, type bidder in. If you watch it on replay, you can type replay. If you have a question or a comment or something you'd like me to cover in one of the live streams, please feel free to leave it here. I'll tell you a brief story, and then we're going to wrap this up. I got started I was in marketing since 1978, learning direct response marketing, but in 1981 or 82, I got this direct mail from Jay Abraham that was offering this course. It was $500, and then later I bought his $5,000 course. And in the first course of the $500 course, he talked about this thing called unique selling proposition. Now, I've been in sales some, timeshare, business to business, door to door. I was horrible at it. But anyway, he talked about this thing, unique selling proposition. What differentiates or separates you from the competition? And this was like this huge, massive revelation to me, because you got to understand, if you're selling door to door and B2B and timeshare and stuff, nobody ever did this. Nobody ever gave you a reason that your product was differentiated or different from others and provided more benefits to the customer. It just wasn't done back then. So I learned this method and I'm, wow, this is the most incredible method I've ever heard, right? And that made a big difference in my products, my sales letters, and my career, because I always thought, what's going to differentiate this? What's going to make it different? And it's got to be a benefit the customer wants. You can be different and the customer doesn't care. They're like, well, I don't want that. It's in orange. I don't like orange, right? It's got to be a benefit the customer wants. So, but the differentiation is just huge. So remember, there's 3 basic ways today you can differentiate. There's a bunch of others, but those are 3 really great ones to start with. Hope you got value out of this. Thank you for joining me. I will be back tomorrow. If you do not have my free book, again, on how I sold 70,000 products online, again, you go to resellertoolkit.com/70K. You're going to go to this page. You'll be able to opt in. You'll be able to get that. You all have a great day. Thank you for joining me. I'll see you